what's going on, everybody? It is Wednesday. It is the usual time. I am your host, Benjamin, and this is Recap, baby. Welcome in, everybody. Chana SFC, JM1620, Lee Castle, VT Kevin RZ49, Southside Steven Steve Wright, Apache Pothead, Jay Navarro 12, Croats 10, and more comments, of course, are trickling in. And as always, if you guys aren't able to catch us live on Twitch, you can always catch us on YouTube at Hat-Club. Be sure to subscribe to us, which is a fancy word for follow. Give us some likes if you like what we're doing. So my name is Eric, Adrian CR211111, Dapperly Street, more beer less work. Sorry, I always see it as week. I don't know why, but I know it's work. Because you have us WRK, not WORK. Anyway. Best of AZ, what's going on, dude? We'll discuss that at the end of the show. We'll save that to the end. But without further ado, let's get this show off starting hot. As always, the ever wonderful Tefuri Taylor is with us. What is up?
What's up, chat? What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I'm in a good mood. I have the Mighty Ducks on my head. This is the full circle moment for me as a 90s kid. So I'm here. I love hats, and I love you guys. So let's go ahead.
I love you too.
Yeah, man. What's up, JM? Best of AZ. Ugly Man Chief. What's going on, bro? Like, man, Ugly Man Chief's been everywhere, bro. Like, I feel like
I know.
If there's someone that I would wish that would give me a buddy pass for the places that they're going, it would be Ugly Man Chief, hands down.
Dude, that man's got so much access to everything, and I'm not jealous about it, actually. I think it's good. I like to see people coming up and succeeding, and that man is definitely doing it.
Listen, the only thing I'm jealous of is he knows Larry June. So, like, that's the only thing I'm like, dude, we need to parlay.
Have I not told you my connection with Larry June?
Yeah. Oh, you did tell me that. It's like everybody knows him but me.
Larry and I have known each other for like a decade.
Man, Larry's cool people, man. Like, I feel like he's like the type of friend that, like, when you have a problem, he's just like, hey, man, just chill. It's all good. And I'm just like, you know what? You're right, dude. It is all good. Yeah, Chief Mr. Worldwide, exactly. Best of AZ. What's up, Lee Castle? The Mitchell and Nesses actually fit really, really good. I mean, you guys can see the shape on my head. It's awesome. It's amazing. Shouts out to Mitchell and Ness for partnering with us on these. Ugly Man Chief, where Chief was right about these. You do want to size down. So I'm normally a 7 3/8. This is a 7 1/4. It fit me perfectly. Like, I feel like I probably could have still fit the 7 3/8, but the 7 1/4 is exactly what I would have expected a 3/8 to regularly feel like. I guess, if that makes sense. Hey, what's up, Angie? What's up, Lewis? And yeah, man. I mean, it's a Wednesday, man. If y'all like hats, this is the show for you.
It is, and we got some good stuff coming. Actually, on the subject of Mitchell and Ness NHL stuff, we had a discussion the other day as far as other teams to bring in, incorporate, possibly even do restocks for, because obviously the Ducks, the Sharks, and the Coyotes sold out. So if we're able to do it, we are definitely going to try and do it. Looks like I might actually get a Toronto Maple Leafs in this mix. So we'll stay tuned, everybody. We got some big plans. We got some big plans for the hockey.
Yeah, listen, I'm like the hockey savant in me is hoping maybe some teams that maybe were not alive, maybe while some of these were on. So maybe an Atlanta Thrashers in the mix. Who knows? I mean, that's just throwing that out there. And Atlanta Thrashers IC would be really, really cool. Frosty. Anyway, things to think about. Things to think about. But that Maple Leafs is really dope. I would love to see that.
Oh yeah. No, I think a lot of it is just like, if we're able to do any of the retro teams or non-existent teams, or relocated.
Yep.
Try and do it. So it's just a matter of like when. Plus, I mean, hockey season's almost over, much in the same sense that the NBA season is almost over. I mean, we're a month away from everything wrapping up completely. So we got time until the season kicks off fresh in October.
Heard you. Yeah, man. I feel like we'll probably do that. He said, Ben, how you feel about the A's are dropping this weekend? Oh,
I feel good.
That's a good question. Well, how are you feeling about that?
It's such a weird zone for me, just because I try to, mentally take myself out of the actual. And when we bust out, like,
It's like a bittersweet feeling,
So
right? It's kind of like a bitter.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a bitter. Yeah, but I'm hoping. You know what? It's like at the nth hour, something happens where it's just like, hey, you know what? This doesn't feel right. We're sticking in Oakland.
Am I lagging bad right now?
You were a little bit, but you're like kind of catching up, and then the camera will do like the whole speed up thing. But it's
Okay.
cool. I
But
got you.
is the audio
Kimsey.
at least still staying fine,
Yeah.
or does it keep cutting in and out?
So it'll when you start to lag, it'll start to do it a little bit, but then
Okay.
when you come back, it'll be like sped up. But
Okay.
as chat has crowned me, I am the king of the inter, the inter pausing there. I'm just always like, hey,
Yeah.
you guys want to hear a joke?
No, for the life of me, like, no, I've taken this thing apart. I've restarted my router. I've done everything. And it's just like it's
Mhm.
progressively getting worse, and I don't understand why.
Listen,
To the
chat.
point where it's like I'm gonna get a baseball bat and I'm gonna break every piece of this equipment.
Listen, you could do some real office space work on it. I'll join you. We could do a slow mo walk away from it after we destroy all the equipment.
Oh
I'm with
yeah.
that. But Hat Club chat. We might have an in person Geek Squad link up at Ben's house. That might be the
It's gonna
next
happen.
activity.
It's have to happen.
But you want me to take over for Side Sleepers, Ben?
Yeah, go for it. Let me because I was gonna say I feel like as soon as I was about to like kick over into
Mm-hmm.
the website stuff, it's probably gonna start seizing up. So
Okay.
birthday boy, yeah. Actually, Austin is not with us this week. It is his birthday today.
It is.
So shout out and happy birthday to him.
Happy
Um,
birthday.
he's one of those guys that he just got back from some time off and decided not to do the show, which is hilarious.
Yeah, it's cool. Birthday boy privileges, Shouts out to him, man. Hopefully he's out there catching them all. Whatever all for him might be. All the birthday cake, all the hats, a lot of different things. Austin could possibly be out there trying to be the best of, but we appreciate him. Love him, man.
Always.
Happy birthday, Brody. And shouts out to Max as well, that every now and again we see lurking behind the camera. So, but we appreciate him. Let me see here if we can get technology to work.
I'm gonna throw it out here. As soon as I got rid of the whole website portion on
Yeah,
my side of the computer,
yeah.
my monitor and it seems like my audio is running fine now. So
I,
clearly that is a
yeah,
draining issue.
craziness. But guys, we want to run through these side sleepers real quick. Run out of shows you guys have probably
Oh,
seen.
give me one sec.
Oh, you're good.
There you are.
Oh, perfect. Okay, guys. So we're gonna run through some of these side sleepers real fast. If you guys didn't know, we had the ambassador pack drop today. So that was we had 5 hats. I think
Yep.
Kimmy's, because hers sold out. I think hers and I think Sharoy's and Lewis is sold out about the same time. So I think they pulled Kimmy's, but it sold out as well. So hers was the SF. Just to remind you guys, it was the SF. It was the Houston Astros. That was from 101 Dolph. Shouts out to him. It's Sharoy did the Toronto Blue Jays. Amel Vibe did the New York Yankees. Shouts out to my guy Lewis.
Oh yeah.
And shouts out to DJ Killer Squid. It's the last ambassador hat that is remaining. We have a 7 and 1/8, 7 and 1/4, 7 and 3/8 left, but all other sizes are indeed
And we're
sold out.
and we're talking like there's only like maybe like 2 or 3 left in those sizes, which is actually I'm kind of impressed that they're still hanging around. But for
Yeah,
the most part, I call this pack a success.
yes.
Yeah, numbers were a little bit low, but
Mhm.
whatever. They sold out. Everybody seemed to respond to them in kind. And
Mhm.
the great thing is we can always order more.
Right, exactly. And this one, it's a great crown. I actually wore it, styled it for today. Corduroy upper crown. You got the blue poly UV and a color for a specific other team that calls Detroit home. I'll let you guys fill in the blanks for what that one is. Metallic
Restore the roar.
metallic silver tiger, old English Detroit, Descript logo. Then we have the 2005 All-Star game, gray UV, black guts. And I believe this was made in China. Yes, it was made in
Yep.
China. And Batterman is a two-tone metallic blue, metallic silver, and white combination. And these are just close-up shots of it. So if you are a 718, 714, 738, this is definitely a crown I think you should pick up. Not just because I rock with DJ's Killer Squid Heavy, but I think it's a beautiful crown. And it's super awesome. So shouts out to them and shouts out to all the ambassadors. We talked about these last week. Sandstorm Mania coming across from our good friends over at 47.
Oh yeah.
Great crowns. I think it was the actually I think it was the Detroit that we showed off in hand, or Austin showed off in hand. But you guys can clearly see really good embroidery work here from 47. And I think it was Chief that also noted that some of these have different 47s. I think some of them are white, some of them are silver, some of them are bone. So if you have any questions about that, highly recommend just look through the detail photos to see. But really great hat again. Ironically, we're just talking about a Detroit. You can kind of see, we can see the eyes, a lot of those really cool details, and obviously it's in that sandstorm khaki with the pink UV for pinky season. Shouts out Frosty. So
yeah.
very good
Well, and
crown.
especially for anybody who is a fan of, like the A-frame, but also dad hats or anything like that. I mean, it's just a comfort fit. That's the 47 brand hitch for you right there.
Yeah, the hitch is like, so if you guys also were paying attention, this past Sunday we had the green velvets drop.
Yes, we did.
So we have so we could see, I think we were saying that the Chicago was one of the top ones. Still a really good size run of that left. I'm pointing to this one because I'm just a sucker for front logo and side patch combinations we've not done. And this is kind of one of those examples of a front logo and side patch we've never done before, as far as the stadium patch with the Sox logo. So definitely a really good crown. Did a reel for this hat as well. But Green Velvet's a really good pack. Shouts out to Jess and all the guys for that.
I will say the fair criticism that, I mean, it's not even much as a criticism that was coming from people in the comments last week, and that I've seen online, and as days have progressed. I mean, realistically, with the color scheme, it is a bit Christmassy.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's just like, get it now and you're all set for when the holiday season rolls around, baby.
Yeah. And I'm like, and what's crazy to me is that like some of the hats that people were saying that they really wanted, which was the O's, the Giants, and even the Sox, there's still a really good size run there. So, you guys, like Ben is saying, go grab them now. Or, I mean, if you're one of those people that's like, I'm gonna wait and see if these, drop a little bit or, hit the sale rack, I completely understand that as well. But I will say these are some great crowns in hand, pink UVs. And I think a really interesting way for us to kind of combine two collections that, like I said, people probably wouldn't have thought of that we would combine together.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Another good Seattle. I believe this was a restock, right, Ben?
Yeah,
restock?
that was actually one that we dropped at the pop-up event that we did for the MLB All-Star game in Seattle last year.
So again, I like this hat specifically because it's just really interesting. It's that deep royal color. You got the metallic red, you got the silver, 35th. Again, not personally one of my favorite Seattle Mariners patches, but I think on this hat it was executed really, really well. Full size run here, guys. I will say that lately, like, we've been pumping out some heat. Like we really have. Another restock of a St. Louis Browns. This was at one point, I think, a NoHo.
Dude, I'm blown away that is still available just because of how fast it sold out at NoHo when we dropped it. And then it's just like all of a sudden we, matriculate it over to the website with its own size run. But I will say in defense of that, it was a pink undervisor. I think the one that was dropped at NoHo, if I'm not mistaken.
It was, yeah. Now that's the key difference between the two. This is a green UV, which again, I'm not super mad at. But I do think that T actually showed me, Tiana, shouts out to her, showed me this hat when she actually got it from NoHo. And I do think that the pink UV hits a little bit better, but I'm not mad at Kelly Green for this. And then as far as other sleepers go, a lot of the sites really been restocks. A lot of restocks of things that we've dropped before. Still have some things from the initial Pink Bottom Part 1 drop. Shouts out to John, who did a really good job of covering that.
And that blows my mind. How do we still have sizes left in that one? And I mean, I can criticize myself because I didn't buy it, but then again, it's because the color scheme was very similar to Northern Lights Part 2, and that's the only reason why I didn't get it. But I got the Chicago White Sox one, which I'm wearing today.
Yep. Which is a very good car. I'm jealous of that. I really like
it's beautiful.
It's very beautiful. I really think that I look at this one more because of, and again, gonna give my boy John props. The matchup that he did with this hat with the Action Bronson New Balances, I think that was a really stellar combo. I'm a 7 3/8, so after this show, I might have to go and scoop this up. But again,
Ooh.
very, very good crown. I think it's something that if you weren't able to get the kid from Frosty's drop earlier in the year, I think this
Mhm.
is another good crown to have in your collection personally. Um, but like I said, man, as always, some of these hats that we may not necessarily make formal announcements of, or you may not necessarily
Yeah.
see through John or Freddie or even Justice Page. Always be checking and refreshing the app. My recommendation is refresh the apps on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. I would say every day of the week, but I say typically those days is when I've seen most of the new stuff load up. So if you don't see anything super heavy during those times, highly recommend that y'all do that. Um, and yeah, man, I think that's all she wrote for Side Sleepers, guys.
Dude,
And
I'll be dead honest. From this point forward, Tef is running Site Sleepers because you were inspiring. Like, I feel like a jackass every time I do it, and you were just like, voice was on point. You were hitting all the highlights and stuff like that, and I'm just like taken aback, like, oh my god, this man's
listen,
got it.
chat. I practiced this a lot of times in the mirror, so I sounded very rehearsed and really well put together. Y'all put a lot of pressure on me to be on my P's and Q's for that. But no, shouts out to you guys. Zeke49 with the really, really good question.
Ooh,
AWACS, if you guys haven't paying attention to the socials, John dropped it, as well as some other inspo, if you will, behind the hat. But do we have a drop date on that yet, Ben?
we do. I'm just not gonna tell
Mhm.
everybody what it is.
Ah,
No, so here's I'll give you guys a heads up on this one just because y'all are loyal to the show and
yeah.
yeah, you deserve it. So I like tonight. I meant to do it yesterday, but I got into a depression spell last night for pretty
Oh,
obvious reasons, so I did not accomplish what I wanted to. Um, so the June drop schedule for stores, for the website and stuff like that. For the website, it's pretty much set up. So I have to go through and do, handle it for the stores and stuff like that. So
mhm,
it is dropping in June. It's going to be dropping early June. So
awesome.
and we'll bring it on recap. So don't worry. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like we're going to leave you guys in the dark on that.
No, listen, there's a couple of things just that dropped that pinky Braves, the off white. Yeah, I you see what I'm wearing right now. So that
Hmm.
I may have to make a trip out to Melrose, Chief. I may have to come see you guys for that one because
You
I
know,
need that. I need that in hand.
it's kind of mind blowing. And I was just say this is not a criticism of our design team or anything like that. Just because there's no way of predicting like what is going to take off and what is not.
Hmm.
And that specific color scheme, because obviously you have the Braves one. We just dropped the Dodgers one recently for 5950 day.
Yes.
Or 2 days, sorry, 2 days after 5950 day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like if we did like a full 30 team slate in that colorway, like everybody probably go after it.
I feel like it would be like the Galaxy pack. I think
Yeah.
it was one of those packs that just it captivated everybody. I still say to this day that's the best color story that we've ever done. Just off of yeah, John, you already know it's if it's Atlanta, I'm there. That's
Oh
that's
yeah.
just how we got to do it. But June is looking extremely spooky. Chana, I actually very much agree with you. I would like to see that candlestick patch used a lot more. I think
Yeah.
we've seen a few. I mean, we've obviously seen the All-Star game with the trolley patch, which I believe is the 89, if I'm not mistaken, All-Star game.
The trolley patch for the Giants?
Yeah, is that the
Uh
88 or 89?
'07 All-Star game.
Oh seven, no, the other one before that one. So before the '07 that we've been using, it's like a circular patch and it has the trolley in the middle and it has Giants. And I think the year is written in all
Oh, it might be
um
the 1984 All-Star game then.
84. Okay. I
Okay.
was confused if it was 84 or 89. But yeah, there's a but there's definitely some, some good patches that we have. But I would like to see that stadium patch used, the Candlestick Stadium used in particular a lot more. I
Same.
loved how it was execute. It's a hard patch to stick.
I
Yeah.
think just like the straight stadium patch and just not having other, necessary frills or anything around it, just like it just kind of gives it like a nice clean look to it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like what we did with Comiskey, in the Green
Mhm.
Velvet pack, it shows like the versatility of it. I mean, please don't bash me, Sox fans, but I would like to see a Wrigley patch. I would like to see if the
It
Wrigley patch,
exists.
it exists. Does
Yeah.
it have the ivy on it, or is it just the pure just stadium like schematic view, pretty much?
Honestly, I can't remember. I know we've done one.
Yeah, because I know
mean,
we have
for
the.
whatever
I
reason,
know.
I can't see it right now.
Yeah, I feel like I remember the one that we've done. That's the circle with it looks like the ivy inside the patch. We did it for the horror pack.
Oh no, I'm talking. I know that one, yes,
Mhm.
but I'm talking about like just like the Comiskey one on the one we just showed. Sorry for the green velvet. My apologies.
Yeah,
Hold
no,
on one
yeah.
sec.
I think I like to see the Wrigley one for that, but apparently Scotty with the sneak said no, absolutely not. It's not what we need. Um, but yeah, man, but yeah, we got a jam packed show tonight, man, of
We
cool
do.
things to show in hand. Some
As
recent
I'm trying to log into my Shopify account to confirm whether or not there is actually a Wrigley Field patch that we've dropped on the website. I'm pretty
yeah,
positive there is.
I feel like there is. I feel like we've seen it. John is also complimenting your pinky as well.
Hey, appreciate it, man.
He said that's a good pinky.
It's a very it is. It it lured me in.
Yeah.
I
It's like
I thought I was like completely set on pinkies, and it's just like, nope, I got to get this one.
yeah, that denim with the black visors. Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, Chad, I'm gonna be panhandling after after the show. If anybody has that in a 3 or throw in fourth, please step into my office.
All right, I'm gonna check at
Um,
the end of the show. Oh,
yeah,
we'll come
yeah,
back to it.
but yeah, man. And Best of AZ with another good question. He says, "Do all teams have a stadium patch like that?" So, like
They do
the
not.
mm,
So because of the fact that that patch itself is custom created, I don't know by whom.
mm-hmm,
So it all depends on if somebody had done it. But the one thing I know is because it's like there's a Brooklyn Dodgers Ebbets Field one, which we've used multiple times in the past.
yeah,
I know I've seen a Philadelphia A's Shibe Park.
mm,
Um, Definitely not an Oakland Coliseum or anything like that. I'm pretty sure there's a Dodger Stadium one out there.
yeah, I think so.
And obviously there's a Yankee Stadium. There's a Fenway one,
You think it's like
Wrigley.
historic parks, really?
Yeah, yeah, it's really what it came down to.
Yeah, because I was gonna be like, I was trying to think. I was like, man, wonder if they had like a Turner Field one. I wouldn't think we'd have a
Mm,
Truist because I don't think Truist has really been broken in yet. But
yeah.
I guess you could say Turner Field is kind of on the All Star game patch for the Braves because of how that looks.
Brother Bishop, good to see you. So yeah, I don't know. You obviously found out that we had technical problems with Flip the Script yesterday, which is why we didn't do it. And then because Austin was on vacation yesterday, I was a
Hmm.
good guy and did not bother him about it. Like it was nothing was working. So
Oh.
JM 1620 can attest to that because he and I
Mhm.
were on the phone with one another because it was going to be JM 1620 versus me, and then Brother Bishop versus me in a little
Mhm.
FIFA yesterday. So that exploded in my face big time. So my
Mhm.
apologies.
And totally agree, VT Kevin R. I don't think people were around for Fulton County Stadium. I know I wasn't born yet, but I know that from I've driven past it. Before I was like we had driven past it before it was torn down, but
Yeah.
when I was very very young. But I mean, my Braves fandom started with Turner Field and pretty much has progressed since then. So, but I agree. I would like to see a Fulton Stadium patch
I would as
executed.
well.
I would like to see it.
And then for whatever reason, when Best of AZ threw out Chase Field, it reminded me, oh yeah, there is a Shea Stadium one for the Mets as well. That
Yes.
was the last one I couldn't think of. And so
Mhm.
yeah, we got it all figured out now.
Yeah, yeah, we're there. We're there. We're here.
We are here. We're in the now. And speaking of now, let's talk about tomorrow, as in Thursday,
Mhm.
11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, hackclub.com. I flipped that one around. Sorry. Hackclub.com, Hackclub app. And then some of the stores got these as well. This, of course, is going to be the pinky season, the
Mm.
black and real tree camo two tones. Let us cycle through these one at a time, starting with obviously the one in front, the Texas Rangers.
I feel like I really like this one, and John and I were actually having a conversation about this. And shouts out to the Hot Club NoHo family too for the video that they did for opening the box and pulling some of these out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like I think it's the pewter hits in that side patch
Yep.
against the real tree on that on the top visor. That's clean. I really, really like that. I like that a
Yes.
lot. I feel like the Southerners. This is a very Southern hat. I think us Southerners will get down really heavy with these. Can
I
we
was gonna
do?
say, in regard to Southern, all I can think about is NASCAR and fighting. And if you guys didn't see the NASCAR races last weekend where a fist fight broke out in the pit crew, oh my god.
Yeah, and listen, John, I'm telling you, some of these are really nice. Is that like a hint of? And correct me if I'm wrong. Is that gold in the outline of that tee?
It's actually metallic copper.
Metallic copper.
And it's almost like it's like a super dark shade of
Ooh.
brown because you can see there's a discolorization between the black crown and
Mhm.
the front logo.
Yeah.
But as you were saying, like the highlight with the rest of the copper, the pink, and the pewter as far as the side patch, and especially with like all the details within the drop shadow there, it's like I kind of agree with who said it that this is actually the best one, and it actually might be.
Yeah, Cap
Um,
Crusader said it. He said this is actually the
yeah,
best one already.
all these are made in China. I forgot to mention that detail.
That's very clean. I do like that. The, we are creating more and more evidence why that side patch All-Star game, it's cracking the top two, man.
I know.
I don't know which one's got to get out the way, final season or the previous All-Star game, but things to talk about by the end of this year.
Absolutely. Gonna stick within the AL West here and move over to my Oakland Athletics. So A
Mhm.
apostrophe S logo on the front. 50th anniversary, so Tribune Touter there in the back, and a little bit of metallic copper and pewter, of course.
Mhm.
All these, of course, are going to be real tree camo button and upper visor black crown two tones. If I didn't highlight the flat stitch batting on the back and all the metallics that are involved with that, it's just like I probably should have put a little bit more
Yeah.
emphasis on that.
I feel like that John is correcting me. He says the final season is untouchable. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry that I insinuated that the final season could be unseated. Silly me. I know better. But no, I'm gonna say something that I think, a lot of people are not super big fans of Real Tree, and I get it, I understand it's an acquired taste. But I think on these hats, the way that we executed it, black dome, the button is also Real Tree, the top visor is Real Tree
Hmm.
pink. Something about the pink, black, pewter, and copper is just really, really working well with these. And that exactly, Manzur. I would say the Batterman also really makes these really nice. I think these are some sleepers, guys. I think people are not going to like these the first go around, and then around fall time, we're going to see these again, and people are going to be like, "Wow, I can't believe I slept on these."
Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't think I can really add to that necessarily just because the fact that I mean, I've been one personally where it's just like I don't have anything real tree camo in my collection.
Yeah.
There is something upcoming that has some real tree in it, and that's going to be for
Hmm.
June or July that I'm actually kind of interested in seeing.
Hmm.
Just because it's definitely more my color scheme. Like I don't wear like a ton of black. I mean, most of my stuff
Yeah.
is going to be like navy blue, and so
Yeah.
if I didn't give it away, but at the same time,
No,
I
no,
kind of gave it away.
no. I mean, I think we'll be surprised either way. This one, I'm not going to lie to you, Ben. Oh my goodness, that's side
Yeah,
pack.
and I was gonna say, as high as I get on my horse about the Block S, this is actually one of those few where it's just like, no, it was actually a really good idea that they went with the primary logo as opposed to
Yeah, and I mean, and shouts out also to because I feel like Preem had a hat like this in his icy pickups pack as well that I felt was kind of slept on. This again kind of shows the power of that full dial Seattle Mariners logo. I'm with John. I don't know what your light is doing to make these side patches and front logos dance like this, Ben,
yeah.
but like every single one you've shown has been like a hit. I've been like, oh,
It's so I've got my two backlights. So I've got one in the corner here and I've got one off to the side here. So it's gonna say up until this moment, or I think there was like another one that we did that had a lot of metallics in the front logo where it's just
yeah.
like, yeah, it's finally paying for itself.
Listen, organizational psychology 101, chat. Make people like the hats with the lighting. That's how we do it here.
I love it.
Yep.
But yeah, 2023 All-Star Game primary logo. Obviously, a lot of pewter on the interior there from metallics, metallic copper on the far outside ring, pink on the
Hmm.
inside, and then a lot of pink and metallic copper on the inside with the compass dial, black sweatband, and pink under visor made in China.
Is this a Freddie creation?
I think so.
I've This has Freddie's fingerprints on it. Forgive me, other designers, if y'all had a hand in this as well. But I feel like whenever there's things that are slightly a little bit different from what we've done, because I think Just and them have also done Real Tree variants as well. But
Yeah.
I like how we've evolved from, the Oreos that we did with Horror Pack. I think, what was it, 2.0? And I was
Yeah, we
letting
did 2.0.
yeah,
Yeah, 2.0.
2.0, and then now we're starting to kind of play with it at different, segments of the hat. I really like that.
And it's funny because when you would start talking about as far as like the
Stone Cold,
specific
yep.
color combinations in regard to using a Realtree camo, the one that I went back to, of course, was Horror Pack 2.0, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Crazy.
which is kind of a reverse aspect of it because it was like the Realtree camo on the crown and then the black visor. But either way, moving on, this one's for China FC, San Francisco Giants. So the 1980s logo. So
Mhm.
that dark brown interior, metallic copper exterior, 1989 World Series side patch. So not the Battle of the Bay, just the 89 patch.
Yep.
It is, I was gonna say, the patch is a little bit bigger. It's not
Yeah.
distracting, but at least like the right highlights are being, the focal point.
The only is it pewter on the inside of that patch? Like, not
It's no, so it's brown on the diamond interior. The pewter is actually on the outskirts of
inside.
the World Series script.
So I'm gonna tell you what I would have been interested to see. I think you keep the diamond pink, you keep the
Mhm.
outline of the World Series where the pewter is. What if we just threw some copper just all in the inside of that diamond, and then
Yeah.
instead of the 1989 being copper, we just flip that with pewter? I feel like that would have been. I would have wanted to see how that would have looked from a color blocking perspective.
I think that's fair, and especially because as we go through the rest of these and how the front logo coloring and the side patch kind of complement one another, I will
Yeah,
say this is the one where it's like the front logo and the side patch are like opposite ends of the spectrum.
yeah. But it's more of a subtle. I think this is probably the most subtle of the pack as far
Yes.
as like a front logo side patch combo.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, moving on. Let's go to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Boom. So
Ooh,
similar in the sense where it's just, a logo, on-field logo. So brown
mhm.
interior, metallic copper.
I like it.
And then, of course, the SunTrust Park 2017 inaugural season side patch.
I really like that patch. I really
Uh,
like what we did
is
with
this
that.
more what you were talking about in regard to like the way the coloring should have been set up as
Yes.
far as the Giants one? Okay.
Yeah, because it's like you see like it's almost like the copper pulls or it pushes almost the lighter stitching up to the front. That side
Yeah.
patch is, yeah. So like this is kind of one of those points where I say, like, to Aragon's point, I do, it's nothing that I necessarily dislike about the SF, but I feel like we had Texas, Seattle, and then, I think, what was the other crown that we showed before that?
It
Um
was they just fell. Oh, the Oakland one. They just fell
and
down. So I'm just like
Yeah,
bringing down,
Oakland,
picking them
yeah.
up.
So all those patches were like dancing, going crazy, and then that one was just like, it was dancing a little bit, but it wasn't like the others. This is very clean though. I do like it. I do
Yeah, I
like
like
it
this
a
one
lot.
as well.
Mhm.
Something to be said about, just a lot of subtlety that goes in with
Mhm.
a lot of this stuff. So
Yeah,
let me clean up my
agreed.
mess real quick. Hold on one second. Because I have a feeling the Texas one got far away from me all of a sudden, and I got a feeling it's going to come in handy here in a little bit. So,
Yeah.
do you want to go to Toronto or do you want to go to Arizona next?
I feel like, you know what? In honor of Sharoy's hat dropping today and selling out, let's go Toronto first.
Okay, this actually might be. This is definitely top three for me.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's the bat and it's the
Yep.
pink bird. And then is the T metallic? Is the T like pewter, or is that just
The T is actually the brown. So I feel like that might be the only detail that probably could have been different is just the outline.
oh
But
yeah.
to which case, once again, using perfect blend of colors within the side patch, and we're there.
Show that side patch again, Ben. Show that.
Eh.
My goodness. That's executed perfectly to the T.
It
I
is.
don't stitching on the ball is pink. Then the pewter is pretty much the outer circle. You got the writing in there in copper. You got yeah. That's insane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Boom. It's that bat.
Yeah, I
Actually,
think
you know what else it is as well? I mean, all the Realtree camo designs are gonna be different for every single hat, but because this one has that big leaf on the front that's right here,
Yeah,
it it go
agreed.
it reflects perfectly with the front logo. So I
Reflects
hope
off
to
the
God that, like, all the other ones are, like, in a similar.
mhm. Reflects off the tattoo on the muscle bird.
There we go.
Yeah, man. Adrian asking the Dodgers one is not dropping online, right?
Correct. I think somebody had asked me about that, and I wasn't sure, and then I went back and double checked. So the Brooklyn Dodgers one was a NoHo exclusive for 5950 day, just like the
Mhm,
LA Dodgers one was an LA exclusive for 5950 day.
mhm.
You know what? Let's go to Houston next. So 2000 spring training logo. So all pewter up in that state of Texas right there. Metallic
Sheesh.
copper on the outskirts. Pink on the interior for the open star logo. And our one of our favorites, of course, is the 45th
45th.
anniversary patch because of the Tequila Sunrise logo and be able to cram as much barred color threads in there as possible.
Man, that's super clean. I don't
Yeah.
like most of the time I'm like that batting. I feel like that spring training logo is starting to become one of my favorite Stroh's front logos for me personally.
Yeah.
That's that's insane. I think it's the amount of pewter that's in that front logo is that's nuts. That's crazy.
Gotta get that light dancing off it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Why can't my team be that cool?
Like what's funny? I feel like the Coliseum side patch is a good one. I think that with certain like the Ricky Henderson patch, I think is great. I feel like it's just like those are like my two favorites. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I think those are my two favorites. I'll take those over the Battle in the Bay patch, personally.
So this one is the other Diamondbacks we dropped recently was very much similar to this. So it's got that metallic pewter like outline around the
Yeah,
D. Then you got the metallic copper in the drop shadow. You got pink in the scales. I feel like the interior of the D. I mean, I know all of the front logos have had this brown threading on the inside, but I feel like for
yeah.
this one it should have been something
Flip.
else.
Yeah. I would have, to be honest with you, because of just how we've done the Diamondbacks logos like this in the past. I was expecting us to go full Monty like we did with the Astros.
Yeah.
Just put all the pewter we got inside the interior. I would have put the brown on the exterior, and then you would have had like I would have left everything else the same way. Drop shadow could have still been copper. I think that would have been, but in this sense, I'm kind of okay with it though.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of okay with it.
Like, it looks fine. Like, don't
Mhm.
don't don't get me wrong on this. And the side patch coloring looks phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's anything
But
else we could have did
it's
better with
just
that.
like, yeah, just if it was a little bit or if there was a different metallic I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it yet, but
Yeah, I think we did the right thing with not putting like making the interior of it pink. I feel like the accents where we put the pink in the front logo was perfect. I think
I
we did great
100%
with
agree with that.
that.
So, I don't know, maybe in the circumstance, like they, John, Justin, Freddie, whomever, did try all sorts of different combinations as far as the coloring, and it's
Yeah.
just like, you know what? This actually looked the best, so
It kind of gives me almost like real life carbon fiber. I know we did the carbon fiber pack, but if you've
mhm.
ever seen carbon fiber where it's like on the outskirts it's really shiny, but then the inside is more subdued, but it's like the shininess kind of pulls out that subdued color. So maybe that's the route they were going
Yeah,
from a
no, which makes
color.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
All right, and here's the last one. We haven't used this logo in a while, which is why I kept it for
Mm.
last. So, Baltimore Orioles, and more specifically, this is the 1999 through 2006. I think this is the road logo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
The weird part about it is because there's a difference between the shape of the head of the bird and then the feet placement, depending on which year.
Yeah.
Um, but either way, I
Good
want to
lord.
see this logo specifically a little bit more. I kind of feel like everybody's gone a little heavy on the O apostrophe S alternate. As much as I love that logo, I also like the full body bird.
Yes.
Especially if you're gonna throw a lot of metallics and stuff in it. I just think it works.
Chat, It's really for me. This is in my top 3. I'm gonna be fully transparent. The bricks, then the bird,
Yep.
and then you got pink in the bird in the right locations, and you got the copper hits in there as well.
Yeah.
That is a
Subtle amount of copper, just give those little like extra little feather details.
If there was a hat that I would buy and I would rock
And the
every
face.
day, it would be that one. It would be that one. I like the Texas. I do like the Texas, but that hat to me in particular, just because of the real tree, I think this really it's a nature-esque logo. So it's like,
Yeah.
this makes sense.
I think even going back to Horpack 2.0, that's the other reason why, because that was the
Yeah.
logo or this was the logo that essentially was used on it. And so oh, Kicks. Yeah, hold on one sec. Let me grab the Astros for you.
Yeah, and I
There you
agree
go.
with John. Your lighting definitely needs a raise because they have made all these hats look like I need them all.
Remember when Austin used to just shit on me because of how bad or fucked up my lighting was, and it's like I finally get it right, and yeah, there we go.
Listen,
So which ones you feeling for top 3?
top 3 for me. This is probably the toughest top 3 I've had to do in a long time.
Yeah.
So number 1 top slot, it's got to be Texas.
Yep.
I feel like it's just very, very good crown, minimal. That side patch is just insane. So got to go there for number 1. Number 2, I got to go Orioles.
Okay.
I just, like I said again, nature logo. I just really like that bird logo there. The bricks on the 30th, it goes crazy. That's just a really, really good crown. 3 for me is really tough. I mean, it's really a battle between Toronto and Texas for the number 3 slot. I am going to give the slight edge to Texas just because of the front logo.
Did you mean Houston?
Houston, yeah, Houston,
Okay.
excuse me. Yeah, Houston. I'm gonna give it the edge just because the pewter in the whole state of Texas is just insane. And then that 45th patch combination is tough. The outside looking in is probably going to be Toronto, but in its own right, Toronto is a very, very, very good hat. So I definitely don't want to take anything away from it. The copper bat with the pink bird, it's just that's good work. So for me, top 3 is going to be Rangers, Orioles, Stros.
So I went Rangers, Orioles, Blue Jays.
See,
So yeah, and I had the Blue Jays already set aside in case you were going to pull that one because it's like, all right, we're going to be in agreement on this one. But I'm okay. I'm actually okay that our third spot was a little bit different because somebody had asked to see the Blue Jays again, and it's just like, I was just waiting to surprise you.
Yeah, and CG and Kicks, I'm not mad at you guys for saying that that's the one. I mean, I think that in my mind, this is just that's just crazy. I think the bird being all pink. I don't think I've ever seen us do an all pink bird before.
No, we
I don't think
hadn't.
we've ever done that. I want to say we
Yes.
have.
Sorry, we had cotton candy.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for fact checking me, Ben. Because I was like, I feel like we hadn't, but I was like, I feel like we have. I just couldn't remember what it was.
Cotton candy. Actually, I will correct myself on that. And this is what I was talking about a little bit ago, where I said certain years the details are a little bit different because for that full body bird like we just did, that was the bird that we used for watermelon. For the cotton candy, we used the 1989. It was a full body bird, but it was like the tail end of like the cartoon full body bird.
Got you.
And I always loved it. And I didn't buy it even when we had it as a fucking pre-order, and I stupidly didn't buy it.
Sakura pack, good call outs. CG as well. I do remember we did have a Jays.
Yep.
Where I think the Sakura pack as well. I do remember that. Good call out.
Good one. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Look at y'all, man. Y'all actually like our hats. Y'all know our products. Yeah.
We're actually educating people. Oh my god, this is great.
Shouts out to y'all, man.
Speaking of pre-orders, so anyway, a black Realtree two-tone pink under visor. Yep, tomorrow isn't Thursday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Hackclub.com, Hack Club app. Pre-orders. So Friday, the 24th. It's been a long time, and somebody tried to correct me on not anybody here necessarily, because Sandstorm pre-order was 2022, right?
I believe. Let me I gotta think again.
Yeah. Because it was
Yes.
like it was the only pre-order we did for 2022.
Yes, it was. Yes.
I'm
Mhm.
gonna have to
Or
strangle that
maybe
dude.
was it 20? Because they originally dropped 2020, correct?
Everybody's saying 21.
21. So it might have been
Hmm.
21. Let me, because well, it's now called X, but let me see if I could go to Twitter and see if they had okay, so they said 21. That's when they got my that's when I got my Mariners. I agree with you, chat. I'm just making sure that so I can educate myself, not because I'm trying to prove y'all wrong. But
Everybody's
if
saying
it,
spring of 21. Interesting.
hmm, I felt like 2022 is right, but 2021 might actually be more correct.
No, because I could have sworn it was like it was the early half of 2022.
It was
And then that was
2021. I pulled up. It was an old tweet. It said, "Heads up, the Atlanta Braves Sandstorm hat was originally supposed to be a no exclusive, which means we don't have a huge amount of them. So don't panic if you miss out. The future is bright."
when was that?
Um,
What was the date on that?
March 24th, 2021.
God damn it! All right,
Yeah, yeah. Power of the internet, power of Twitter before it became X.
son of a bee. No, because I vividly remember that fiasco with when we had the
Ah,
leftovers and we oversold them, and to make up for it, everybody actually, realistically, if yours got oversold and canceled, you were kind of in a better position because you were in the front lines to get the campfire because when we
hi,
dropped that for the holiday season, so
yeah. Hiya Hat said, yeah, it came in 2020. It came
that
in
was
in
it.
2020.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, yeah. Appreciate you, chat. Le- Appreciate y'all.
So anyway, pre-orders. We're bringing them back. We're doing a test run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different hats that we got here.
Mhm.
These are just the samples, so that's exactly how we're able to have these in hand to be able to show them
Ooh.
off and show off the details for you.
Speaking of which, I actually have one of those.
Oh, I love it.
Very good crown. Hold on. Let me
Um,
adjust
the
my light.
pre-order is going to be open at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern on Friday, and it's going to close, I believe, at the end of the day on Tuesday. So the day after Memorial Day. And then, of course, there's going to be some other stuff we're going to talk about here in a sec that I've got photos for. Sorry, I got lost in Thugnificent's comment there.
He was talking about me. I said I was trying to double check to. I said I'm not trying to prove chat wrong. I'm just trying to make sure that I can. I'm. He was like, I'm gonna use that on my wife.
I love that. I
If
love
you
that.
get in trouble, Thugnificent, I wasn't here. You didn't know me. Well, this is a pre-recorded thing. You did know me. Best of luck to you, my man. May the force be with you. Shouts out to you, man.
To answer the question about full payout or deposit for pre-order, I'm pretty sure it's just full. Um, it's funny. That question never came up in any of our discussion in regard to this, and I completely forgot
Ooh.
to ask because that is an important question. I mean, you guys got time, so I mean, to figure all this stuff out. So it's not like you got like an hour to put this in, and you have to, you know, make a life or death decision on this. But anyway,
No.
so here's the clip of them. These are the Cookie Martini, and by that, it is a combination of the cookies and cream and the pink martini. So much in the same sense that we did for the green velvets. Combination of two very highly sought after and respected pink bottom collections. So black crown for all of these, olive green button, olive green under visor or upper visor. But Milwaukee Brewers for this first one, which honestly I kind of wish I left this one for last.
That's very, I mean, the glove being all copper is now, this is me because I'm a some basketball, goodness, baseball junkie. Like, I see, we were talking basketball before, so that's
Yeah.
why. I'm a baseball junkie like you. So if we would have did this as like a golden glove,
I mean, I got I don't know. I don't know. Because honestly, I feel like metallic copper actually blends in better with black and olive.
yeah, I mean, I feel like I no on this crown, I think the color scheme is fine. I was just saying on a future collection.
Oh, yeah,
Because
my bad.
my mind just started to go because the glove is essentially all copper.
Correct.
If we had a golden glove, you know, uh Brewers.
I Yeah, I'm on board with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Metallic copper and olive green on either side for the flat stitch baddie. Like I said, Hat Club original pink under visor, black on the sweatband. The only detail that I cannot give you guys, I mean, this one specifically was made in Laos, but that doesn't mean that these are going to be made in Laos because they're a pre-order. So if you'll notice when we do the launch page, I always write it up. I always give that detail, et cetera, et cetera. But that's the only detail that's not going to be available is what country they're made in because we don't know.
Right.
They're going to be $52, so standard for any fitted. So 52
Cool.
flat.
52 flat.
Yeah. So Milwaukee Brewers, County Stadium for the side patch on number 1.
Very cool.
Up next is going to be everybody's favorite New York Yankees with the 1999 World Series side patch. So always a favorite, at least for the side patch is concerned.
I do like this. It's like this is kind of like the SF. This is like the SF of the old pack. I feel like this is just a really tried and true. If you didn't know what to get, I say start here.
Yeah. I think that's actually fair. As much as, you know, as the baseball fans that we are, that we like to give crap to Yankees fans, etc. Realistically, it's just like it is a gold standard for a reason.
Lifted truck, I understand that feeling, but I feel like this is one of those rare times where I think that I'm cool with no pink in the side patch. It's cool. I wouldn't have been mad if we had pink in it, but just because the fact that you went really solid with the white front logo and everything else, it was just like you went solid white with the front logo. I was just like, I'm cool with it.
Yeah. I mean, you'll notice that actually a lot of these patches, like none of them have pink in them. Like realistically, it just comes down to the under visors, like the pink detail on it.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Devil Rays up
Ooh.
next. So definitely, like we've used this front logo before. It's just been a long time. And then 10 seasons patch for the side patch. So
That front logo is serious. I like that.
it is, yeah.
Very clean, very, very clean.
I kind of agree with you, Chana. The more I look at it, the more I like this one.
Yes, agreed. And yes, Thugnificent, these are going to be pre-orders.
Yes.
These will be pre-orders.
So gotta do the trial run to see, you know, how well the pre-order does, and then we can expand it out to other things.
Kobe said, let's stay on that front logo for a minute.
By all means.
No, I think it's the layering. I think that's the detail I just saw here, where it's like you have the olive on the outside, the copper layered underneath that, and then you have the white on the inside. Yeah, Rays. Yeah. I like that.
Up next, so this is actually one of the few that will have pink incorporated within the front logo and the side patch. Florida Marlins. So the pink, of course, is going to be on the inside of the F logo. Yeah, I know it's a little subtle just because of the fact that this is the only time that my lighting has come back to bite my ass. But great use of the metallics, at least with the metallic copper, and especially the olive. And then the commissioner's trophy on the inside, that is pink as well. It's not a heavy pink, it's just a very light pink.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is one of those ones where it's like that side patch in particular, because we've used that side patch now on a couple of Florida Marlins hats that I've seen recently. That's starting to become one of my favorite Florida Marlins side patches. Not gonna lie. It's like the welcome to the show patch for the Braves, but it's like their version of it, which I like. And I like how we played with pink on the inside of like the Marlin, and then also on the inside of the F as well. Very, very clean.
I will say this, and I know I'm in a huge minority on this one. I know huge and minority.
It's all good.
I've always loved the Florida Marlins logo, like ever since, you know, they first unveiled it back at the tail end of 92 going into the 93 season. And I would say it's been a while since we've done like a really solid Florida Marlins hat, but this one I actually like a lot.
Yeah, I feel like was the last one we did this for, was it a part of a larger pack or was it a variety pack? I want to say it was a variety.
I want to say it was a variety pack as well.
Yeah, I can't call it to mind. Chat. Do your
Help!
stuff.
I'm gonna save this one for a little bit later. For all you Dodger fans out there, of course, there is the Los Angeles script. So white interior, and then yes, it goes metallic copper, and then to olive green on the exterior there. So you can kind of see the metallic copper on the interior there between the letters and the threading. 40th anniversary of Dodger Stadium. So always a favorite.
I like that a lot. I do like at first I thought that inside of that patch was pewter. But when I first saw it, but then I saw it was just more of that muted green, and then you had like
There
the white in there.
So behind the Dodger Stadium script, there is metallic silver in there. So I think that might
Oh,
be what you're
okay.
seeing as well.
Yeah. It's like I know it was coming up light on the camera, but yeah, that's really clean. I like that a
That's what I was
lot.
trying to find like a good angle just because. Yeah.
Oh, and Adrian with a really good observation. So he said the logo looks like it glows in the dark. Does it?
I don't believe it does. Nobody at least has told me anything in regard to glow in the dark, just because I can tell in hand because the white threading is white as opposed to anything that's glow in the dark. You can definitely tell there's like a little bit of a green hue to it.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't believe these glow in the dark. Boom.
Yeah.
Hit
Hit
it
it
with
with
the light. Nope.
he said no. Science. Didn't think you were
Science.
gonna get a science experiment during recap. Look at us.
Actually, I'm gonna bring you up on screen on this one just because even though I've got the Angels in hand, you've got it on your head. I want you to
Yeah.
give the breakdown on this
So
one.
Anaheim Angels. My light's not doing overtime work like Ben's is, but you guys can kind of really see here. Disney A logo. This whole interior of this Angels logo is actually copper. So
Oh
all of
yeah.
that's copper. You have the white in there. You also have the black, and then you have the. I really say that is a little bit of silver on the outside. Then we
Yep.
go to the side patch, and I mean, you guys see what's happening there with that. And then Batterman, pink UV, black guts.
I'll show it on my side as well, just because I might be able to hit like a few extra little areas there. So
Yeah,
yeah, just to show off like how the metallic copper just kind of like sits within that A logo. So
very
super
clean.
nice. And then yeah, some dark graphite on the interior there for the 50th anniversary logo.
Yeah, I feel like this holds my top spot in the pack. They asked, are the wings silver?
They're actually white.
Yeah,
It
I
just
thought.
I could see why somebody would ask that, just because the way the light once again trickles off of it. So
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie to you, chat. When we were first looking at these as the ambassadors, where I thought that it was silver at first. I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought it was, and I was just like, if that's silver, oh my lord, it's a beautiful hat. But I feel like because you have a metallic already right there, white was the better way to go. I think it would have been a little too gaudy if we went silver
I
next
agree with that.
to that.
All right, next up, Cleveland Indians. So alternate logo. So the I logo, white interior, then the metallic copper, then the olive green on the outside there. Jacobs Field patch. So inaugural season for 1997. And yes, the home plate is actually a light pink threading. So once again, all these have like subtle bits of pink on the inside. Another one that's my favorite, just because of the fact that I like the patch, I like the logo. I'm a sucker, obviously, for specific
Yeah,
logos and stuff like that. But yeah, Hat Club original pink under visor, black on the sweatband. Bada boom.
I like it.
Yeah, subtle.
Subtle.
No. Just because the inaugural, the Jacobs, and the season 1997 is the only metallics that are really going on for the. Well, I mean, there's a little bit of metallic silver there as well, but
Yep.
the right pieces pop and the right usage of threading was used at the right place.
Agreed.
I fumbled that.
good threading placement. Good metallic
Yeah.
threading placement.
All right, and here's the last one. Save this one for last because the fact that from a front logo perspective, we've never done this before. Thugnificent. The home plate on the side patch is pink. It's just a light pink. So Toronto Blue Jays up next. So once again, full jersey script. This goes actually back to the 1990s. But yeah, great use of metallic copper on the outskirts. And then of course it's white and olive green as far as the shading and the lining on the inside. And then of course our ever favorite 30th anniversary for the side patch.
I do like this. I
Yeah.
think this is different from what we normally expect from Blue Jays hats. That's one thing I will give Toronto hats. I think it's like they have so many interesting logos that you can do so much with different types of different logos, if you will. So, yeah, graffiti style box letters, essentially. Yeah.
Big Show, you're just a hater because the Blue Jays beat the Phillies in the World Series. Let's be real about that.
Oh, best of ACZ said, dang, no D-backs.
I know. I was a bit confused about that one as well.
Yeah, you know what's funny for this one? I know most people would have wanted to see the primary logo. I would have wanted to see the snake head with this pack.
Yeah.
Double snake head. So snake head front logo, 1988 side patch. Or 1998, excuse me, inaugural season patch on the side.
Oh man, Mitch Williams.
Lifted Truck says, is Toronto script unlocked? Still haven't seen one.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. Like Lee Castle, exactly. That's exactly what I would have wanted to see. Olive snake head, pink eyes, and then you would have had the accents, and for a little bit of razzle dazzle, make the eyes glow in the dark.
Yeah, that would have been sexy.
Because then it would have been green, because then it's essentially still a black and green hat. So things to think about.
Things to think about. All right, give me 1 sec. I got to get this next portion loaded up real quick. And of course, this is going to be a moment where if my camera or anything else is going to seize up, it's going to be in this moment here. So
we're finger crossing that it doesn't happen, Ben. Not claiming it. Oh, and John with a very good chat. If y'all aren't checking Instagram, Justin right now decided that he just wanted to drop some ether online. If y'all haven't seen the Detroit hat that he just put up on Instagram, highly recommend y'all go look at that.
For whatever reason, this is just straight up not working right now. Give me 1 sec. No. It's weird because like it's the screen share option that it's not working. So give me 1 sec, guys.
Gotcha. Angie is all of us. Go camera, go.
I know. I don't know why it's not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, Scotty, that Detroit is
what the
monstrous.
Fuck? All right, let me try one last thing. Hold on.
A bonfire.
So anyway, the pre-order, like I said, it starts on Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, hatclub.com. I guess technically the Hat Club app as well. And it'll be open until Tuesday. So you guys got all the time in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, like SGA Blue Jays is crazy good. Yep. Saw that as well. I've just already acknowledged, chat, that I'm gonna have dream sandwiches pretty much for like most of June. So there's gonna be 2 pieces of bread. I'm just gonna imagine every time what's actually in between the bread.
Hey, there we go. Sorry, I don't know why it was being so difficult for me. But here we go. So
here we are.
Also happening on Friday, it's the Pinky Season accessories. This one is number 1. So these are going to be kicking off 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, hatclub.com, Hat Club app, only in those spots. The captain's chair.
I do like I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, if y'all watched the original pink bottom month or Pinky Season promo that we rolled out, I immediately saw the chair, then I saw the socks, and then I saw the air freshener and a few other things, and I was just like, oh, I like that. I like where we're going with this.
Before anybody asks me, hey, how much is this chair going for? I'll be dead honest, I don't know, and that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Because actually, well, it just became, it's a long story, so that's not working. Anyway, we'll obviously announce like how much is going to be and whatever and stuff like
Oh,
that.
chat
But
coming clutch on the on. I think John is saying 50.
okay.
I think 50. Yeah, and
I mean,
20.
you guys are probably right. I'm in my head. It was like it was going to be between 40 and 50. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then he says 20 or 50. Yeah. Okay. Very
Okay.
good. So yes, these are a very low quantity. Just to give you guys a heads up.
Hmm.
Um, so if you want it, you gotta be fast on it.
Listen.
Now, in regard to the other stuff we have, there's the socks. So actually, this is the first time we've done socks in 6 years because we did socks back in 2018. These, of course, will have pink highlights, the Hat Club logo on the foot of the sock, which of course is going to be in pink as well. These are
Hmm.
going to be available at the LA store, the NoHo store, and hatclub.com and the Hat Club app for you guys on Friday as well.
Hmm. Socks are definitely an item, ladies and gentlemen. I
Oh yeah.
would summertime around the corner. Think about how cool that would be. Flex your pink bottom with the pink Hat Club socks. I mean,
Exactly.
it doesn't get any better than that. While sitting in a Hat Club chair.
See? Just like that.
No, listen,
Perfect.
I did not see this slide deck before this video chat. I did
No,
not. I promise.
I didn't show them to you. I was about to send you the photos because it wasn't working on my end, and so you were perfect on
Listen,
that.
listen. I'd Hat Club junkie, self admitted.
Wow. And then of course the last thing that was mentioned is of course the pink bottom air freshener, which is going to be right there. Yeah, all these are going to be available 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, hatclub.com, Hat Club app, Hat Club NoHo, Hat Club Los Angeles as well. First come, first serve.
Mm.
Yeah.
With the Hat Club shirt, okay, Conda, I see what's happening here. That's if listen, people could be like, so is your favorite company Hat Club? Is that what it is? Yeah,
It is.
that's the I like Hat Club starter kit. Shirt, socks, chair, hat.
Hat.
I mean, oh, didn't we have shorts that we dropped at the LA release?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Because we also hold on one sec. I'm to the wrong angle. Yeah, we dropped shorts at LA. We dropped shorts at a couple different events. One of the sneaker con ones, I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Bond Street Ball, a couple times
Yep.
we dropped some shorts and stuff as well. So yeah, it's been a bit for the shirts. But the one thing I know is we are kind of in the works on doing some new shirts.
Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like we've had some really good runs of shirts. I mean, I'm biased. We did the Hatlanta shirts. I really like those. Um, the LA shirts, slump shirts. I think that were at the Houston pop. I was so upset I couldn't get one. That was a crazy shirt. I loved it. Um,
I don't know what the scent on the air freshener is. Nobody told me. I haven't seen any of these things in person. I didn't get the chance to do it. I would hope it'd be like pink lemonade, something that actually fits with
mhm.
the pink theme.
Smell a pinky when you get home, and like a fresh pinky. We're not talking like one you've worn. I'm highly, maybe that's what it smells like. I don't know, but I agree with Ben. Hopefully, it's something like a pink lemonade, something nice to smell in the car. People be like, "Wow, that's a really nice air freshener. Where'd you get it from? Hat Club? They sell
Yeah.
air fresheners? Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Aragon 408, great question. He says, Ben, will there be another round with different teams for the Cookie Martini in the future, or are these the teams that are it? For now, it is it. Yeah, it is just these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams.
Hmm.
I think a lot of it's just like to see like how the demand for pre-order is going to go, and then we can obviously
Hmm.
expand upon into other teams like we did in the past, etc. Oh, you in that hat. And then then we can obviously open it up to other colorways and stuff that we do in the future as well. So I would
Yeah.
say if there is a certain team you were looking for, just you know keep an eye out. We always do good for you guys.
Recon Rick with the very, very loud statement, "Where are the Royals hats?"
Hey man, we dropped the Royals hat like not too long ago that flew. So
Yeah,
there are
that
more coming. I can assure you of that. And then somebody had asked, what are we doing dropping on Saturday and Sunday? Actually, it's funny that at this as we started the show and Tef was going through the site sleepers and talking about variety packs and stuff and how you guys should check, the website at least once a day. I feel like you didn't even need to mention days. I feel like just check the website once a day. We'll say between, like 7 a.m. West Coast time, maybe 8 a.m. West Coast time, if you're awake every day. And yeah, you'll see some surprises.
Listen, like I said, man, that's the great thing about having those alerts or those push notifications whenever stuff drops. It's just the great thing to have.
I will tell you this, like, especially next week, because I mean it's gonna be the tail end of May, or it is gonna be the end of May. So we've got like another pinky drop that's coming in there. And there is gonna be some variety pack hats in the mix of on top of that as well. And it's some good ones in there.
Yeah.
Like good ones I was not expecting us to bring back. And then also some new ones. And so that's just the way it's gonna be. It's gonna be a lot of variety pack hats next week. So
Yeah, listen, I will say this, Chad. I feel like it waxes and wanes with us. So like I feel like there's months where we have like extremely like I mean the campaigns are great. I mean, obviously our full collections are awesome, but some of the variety packs I've been seeing have been making me be like, wow. Oh, okay. That's what we're doing.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And just John, it says listen, part 2 Pinkies is a movie. I actually agree with that.
Yes.
Which is why next week we're gonna let Tef show him off just because.
And I listen, the way that Ben's lighting was working overtime. Oh, we're getting in the lab. We're pulling out laser levels. We're gonna make sure that you can really grasp how beautiful these hats look. I mean, that's listen, if you think that Hat Club's gonna chill towards the tail end of this month and then to June, listen, I don't know who your plug is, but
Yeah.
hey, listen, just be prepared. Just already Sezzle, PayPal, you know, whatever you got to do to get these crowns. Highly recommend that you do that. Legal things to get these crowns, by the way.
And I will say there were some movements made in the schedule based on the way I looked at it last week. For example, one of the hats that John and I put together is actually going to be dropping toward the end of the month as opposed to the beginning. Which actually I'm perfectly okay with that. It's one less hat I got to worry about buying at least for a couple weeks, especially as I'm about to go, lose all my cash in Vegas. So,
Yeah, listen, lift the truck. I don't know what will have to be done on the back end to do that, but options, things that can be done. I'd shop pay, whatever you need to do. I'm just gonna tell John said it best. Expensive pain. June. Just let that soak in. Let that soak in. I really I'll have to say that this is probably I thought we were on a really crazy run to start the year.
I know.
And now to see how we've really built out Pinky season, how we've really started to release crowns. I think the experimentation with doing combos of packs that we did before that really well received. I feel like firing just on all cylinders. I can look, it's a great thing now for me to look at the new arrivals page, see hats that I think are really cool and dope
Yeah.
that are available for every person to get. Obviously, I mean, we got the panic out there. I mean, we obviously are going to have a lot of panic, but I feel like it's really cool to be able to see a lot of pinkies that are really nice, really great crowns that are available for this time of the year. Yep.
So everybody keeps asking about that Rockies hat. Don't worry, it's not dropping this weekend. If it was, I would have asked for it and we would have shown it off. So don't worry. I think that's dropping in June, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I
But
feel like most of the stuff that they've been teasing, I think
yeah,
June.
June.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing I'm going to give you guys a heads up on because when the time comes, don't say I didn't warn you, and don't say Tef didn't warn you, etc. So I've mentioned this before that I put together the in-store drop schedules for all the stores, more
Mhm.
specifically for NoHo in LA, but I also do it for Arizona and Roosevelt Field and Great Mall, blah blah blah. They are doing in-store exclusives at every location next month. So there's some stuff you guys might be seeing coming out of John and Justin that is just like, yeah, it's not hitting the website. It's subtly going to be at like Roosevelt Field only, or it's going to be at Great Mall, or, you know, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
So I just want to give you guys a heads up on that.
Yeah.
And especially it's great because for the amount of people that for, you know, however long have said, oh, how come NoHo gets everything? How come LA gets everything? Well, it's like, guess what? I've said for a long time that all these other stores get a lot of stuff. And now we're definitely going to bring it to the forefront. So
Yeah, I feel like yeah, John's asking here, Noah was getting some goodies as well. Is that accurate? Yep. I mean,
yeah.
but we knew that. I figured that. I was just like, yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Like for example, I'll just throw this one out there. I know there's going to be an upside down A logo Arizona Diamondbacks, and of course, it's like it's only going to be available at the Arizona stores. So sorry,
Listen,
but if you're in Arizona, you're in great shape.
if you don't have friends in Arizona, highly recommend that you make some. Facebook is a great place.
Um, Now a couple things that John and Justin did post that I thought were only going to be in-store exclusives. I found out there is going to be a supply for the website, so a lot of you, there's going to be some balance there for you guys. So don't worry.
Mhm.
I feel like June's going to be great for everybody.
Mhm.
And then going back to the question asked, do I have a pack coming out for June? No, it's literally just one hat. Um,
Mhm.
just a one-off because I most of the stuff I do, or at least I put together, is always just one individual hat.
Mhm.
I am working on another collection with Freddie, so that'll give you an idea as far as how artistic it's going to be, because we're gonna get weird with materials and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I just need time to actually be able to sit down and do it, and I have
Yep.
not had any time to do that. So it sucks because it just prolongs the situation a little bit more, and it's like I want to get this shit done as fast as possible.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Ben. I'm really excited to see that back from you and Freddie. I think Freddie's been doing a really good job of pushing the envelope, with just different design concepts. I mean, even the hats that we had, like that Johnny Manziel had like modeled the cattle
Yeah,
pack. I feel like that was just again pushing the boundary of what do we understand a hat to be. Um, I'm really excited to see that pack, Ben.
I was gonna say there's two I'm a little concerned about just because of materials. Yeah, we'll
Mm,
see. Mr. Vickery, actually, you bring up a really good point that I will bring up in our next meeting in regard to it's been ages since we've done like a Discord exclusive. And you guys are 100% loyal, and I respect and love the hell out of you guys. And so we'll see what we can do for you guys.
Give the people what they want. Shouts out to the
I
Discord
could tell you
people.
guys this is there's not going to be a Giants in the collection that I'm putting together. And it's and once again, this is the same as because I can talk about it now. It's the same as the Mike Tyson's Punch Out collection I put together. The reason why
Mhm,
there wasn't a Giants in the mix is because it didn't make sense for based on the letters, based on logos, based, you know, etc.
mhm.
There's not going to be an Oakland A's in this collection either, just like there wasn't for the Mike Tyson's Punch Out or Big Ben's Knockouts. Yeah, whatever. Um, it's it's very specific logos for very specific reasons. Like I'm getting really fucking artsy with it.
Which I think that I really like. I think that from a perspective of and I think that's why you and Freddie working together on this just makes sense, especially if you're trying to push that design envelope
Yeah.
because I think that that's what a lot of things happen with some of these packs. People will look at it and have like a knee jerk reaction. And then when you actually take a minute to kind of take a step back and look at the pack as a whole, then it's just like, oh, wow, like that's a really nice pack. Like I feel like probably people looking at the Real Tree Pinkies, it was just like, I don't know.
Mhm.
But then we show them and it's just like, oh, wow, it's like top to bottom. These are some crowns. So it's like, for those of us that really collect, it's like I think that these are statement hat pieces. Like cattle pack to me would be a statement hat piece. That's something that I would say, like, have you ever seen a hat with
No,
just any type of
exactly.
cattle print on it? You can't say that you have. That's not a normal thing that you see. And I think that that's what design is.
Big Show. I will say this: there actually might be a Phillies in the pack, because I know
Mm.
you're a big Phillies guy. Um, there is a strong possibility there's going to be a Phillies in the pack.
Is
Um,
has they? has the Phillies mascot has that ever been put on a hat before?
Yeah, actually, just this season we can actually do it now. So I think the
Mm,
team might be working on something like that.
that would be cool.
I wish G Laurent was here. The one I'm actually doing a Portland Trailblazers in my pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that. Okay. All right. I remember. I remember that.
It's
Yeah.
funny because I wasn't like that wasn't the intent. Like I was gonna try and throw a basketball or a minor league or something in there. But then the more I looked at the inspiration for it, it's just like, oh my God, how did I not see this immediately? And it's like it's absolutely perfect.
No,
So
I think if it's the thing, the conversation we had and you were talking to me about it, I can't wait to see how that one comes out. I think
yeah.
that's gonna be insane.
um I feel like since we didn't talk about it at the start, I'll get the depressing thing out of the way.
It's the depressing
Um
thing.
oh yeah, we got a couple minutes left. So I cannot believe and I'm in such a mental headspace where it's just like, yeah, I know it's game one, Easter Conference Finals.
Mhm.
Indiana lost game one of the first series. They lost game one against the Knicks. So it's like it's kind of on brand for them to lose the first game. But the
Yeah.
fact that when you have possession of the ball with 10 seconds left to go and you're up by 3 and you somehow lose,
Crazy.
it
I
takes so many things to go wrong for that to happen, and somehow the Pacers were able to pull off every single one of it. So, I was pissed,
Did you
and
see
I
LeBron's
mean,
tweet after the game?
I just stopped talking to people. Just like, "Just leave me alone. I'm gonna sit in darkness." I ordered Little Caesars. I talked about that on Discord. I regret that, and because I feel terrible for doing that, but I was just like,
No, I mean, you were having a mourning period. I feel like you're entitled to that. I
"Uh-huh,
feel like that's fair. I mean, but and this is what I was, saying to Ben Chat, and I feel like as a sports fan, you have to think about it from this perspective. I would much rather the first game be close because you got to think the Pacers played a full 7-game series. So coming
yeah,
into this game, they really didn't have maybe a half day rest. So now you're going and playing another team, the Celtics. I think did their series go 6 against did their series go 6? I think it went 5. So they're coming off of more rest.
yeah,
So all things considered, I feel like Pacers have to split this 1-1 for this to
correct."
go 7. Like I have this series going 7.
Yeah, I've got it in that 6-7 range. I knew like
Yeah.
if Indiana is gonna pull this off, it's like it's not gonna be a cakewalk, but it would take a miracle for it to be.
Yeah, and it's like and to me this is one of those types of things where it's like I like the fact that the game was close. Um if the game wasn't close, if it was more lopsided, then I felt like we would be more in trouble. But when I from the perspective of you had a game where Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum arguably had really good games. They weren't
Yeah,
like shells of themselves. So for the fact that it came down to a one possession game at home on their own court, and that team had a 2-game, like or basically has been done for a while and is like basically waiting for you. I feel like that's good. I think that there's room for the Pacers to play better. I don't know if I just have to see how they do game 2. If
yeah,
they yeah.
and that's all it's gonna come down to for me because like I if Indiana would have gotten blown out in game one, it's like I would chalk that up as, dude, they were gassed after playing a 7-game series while Boston had a 5-game and a lot of rest. It's like I that to me would not have been a big deal. Like it would have sucked to watch, but it's like, no, I get it. And especially
Yeah.
the way the game started because it was 12-0 Boston, like off the rip. And
Yep.
then I was like, oh my God, are the Pacers actually gonna show up? And they did. Um, so now it's a position of how as a team do you how do you react from that? Because it's like, oh my God, we did all these terrible things in this game. Uh, it's like the end of the first season of Ted Lasso. It's like you really have to put it out and just like focus on the next thing
Yeah.
and come together for it. And the one thing I will say in regard to the Pacers is those dudes love playing basketball with one another, and they will when they get put in a tight spot, they will turn it on. And so I'm looking forward to it.
I'm thinking for me,
I think they can steal it. I think they can steal
I
game
think they
2.
can. I mean, I think that last I mean, obviously it's a mental error you don't want to make and it happens at the inopportune time, but I still feel like those are things you can, that's coaching and that's discipline. That's
Yeah.
stuff that you can, I think it's different when there's a clear talent differential between teams. And I don't see that. I haven't seen that
No.
yet. So it's like, which to me is startling because it's like you have a team, like I said, that just came off a 7-game series, is coming into your house to play. And it's really, the game was decided by one possession. Arguably, you erase that mistake. I feel like that's Indiana's game.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's where I say, like, the Celtics have not shown me that they're that much better than the Pacers. I know what the regular season has shown me, and they're a great team, but they haven't shown me that yet personally. But we'll see how game 2 looks, and we will revisit this conversation.
I mean, and for anybody who's saying, oh, like, and this is all the conversation I got, of course, on social media was like from Bucks and Knicks fans, and like, oh, the Celtics are going to beat the brakes off them, whatever. And I'm like, dude, the most important game of the season between those two teams was the in-season tournament, and Boston came out the winner. Or sorry, Indiana came out the winner.
Yeah,
Indiana Boston split the series 2-2 this year. So and the best player for the Pacers in all 4 of those games is the one player who's on injury right now because he tore his labrum, and that's Benedict Mathurin.
I feel like right now, if I'm a Pacers fan, it sucks.
It sucks,
but you get over it for next game because to me it's the age old adage, winning cures everything. So if you're asking me who I want, what my finals matchup is, I want to see Minnesota come out of the West.
Same.
I want to see that happen. Now, that being said, I think that it would be something very, very ironic for the Mavs to play the C's because for obvious reasons. I don't have Kyrie left, the way that he left Boston. I just feel like that's just going to be a fun finals to watch.
Yeah.
Especially if Kyrie's is playing the way that he's playing. But again, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. And I also want to not make it seem like the Pacers, this is just a stepping stone on the way. I think the Celtics still have to prove themselves. I think the Celtics have to win this series. I think there's more on them to win it this year than any other team for the simple fact that you had it in the palm of your hands when you were playing Steph Curry and you dropped it.
Yeah.
It's like, so now it's like you have the horses, you have a good team. There's no excuses why you can't punch your ticket. So if they don't punch their ticket and Pacers actually take them out in 7, I don't know if that Celtics team stays packed. I don't know if they do.
And that's where I'm kind of out with it too, because how many Eastern Conferences, like championship game, like just even the series has Boston been into in the last 8 years, like 6 or 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no,
and no rings to come from that. And meanwhile, it's just like, and this is always the funny part, at least with any criticism the Pacers and Pacer fans are getting. It's just like, we're in year 2 of a rebuild right now. And the Pacers are in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, I mean, I think that and we talked about this before. I think that the Pacers are kind of experiencing the same thing the Hawks experienced, way back when, where it was just they hit the fast track, really, really early, and it's a good thing. So really, what it tells you is if for some reason they don't make it over the hill, it's like that you're a couple pieces away.
Yeah, honestly, yes, and it's legitimately comes down to Benedict Mathurin come back, because I mean the starting core they have working right now, it's just like, yeah, and I'm also in a weird position where it's just like I've said this, and it's like I feel bad about it because I like Rick Carlisle.
Yeah,
I just don't feel like he is the correct coach for this team, like to take them to the next level.
Yeah, I can see that.
As a leader of young kids with talent, he's great. But as far as from a killer instinct perspective, I just don't think he has it.
I mean, he was in Dallas for a while, right? And then that was
did win a championship there, granted, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like when you have players like Luka and you have other guys now, it's like with this Dallas team, the way that their coach has them performing, it's like I think you turn the corner, right? At some point, it's like you can't run the simple motion, simple action plays. Like you have to start getting your specialists on the floor, figuring things out. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you that I think because Big Show is saying it, I think that
I'm about to drop a bomb on Big Show as soon as you're done.
Yeah, Siakam to me is like, if there's someone that I feel is underperforming right now, it's him. It's
Pascal?
like, yeah, Pascal. To
No,
me,
he the first half of yesterday, horrible shooting, and then thankfully the second half he was on fire. So
yeah, and it's just like I think that it's one of those types of things where it's like I think other teams got it. The Lakers could learn a things or two from other teams that are. It's like you don't need marquee names all the time. You just need guys that know how to play their role effectively. It's like sometimes like there's been rumors that they're trying to go after PG and stuff like that. It's like, listen, that 2020 team was very well constructed.
yeah,
That's why they won. It's like, arguably, if you look at, I think that Minnesota proved the point. You beat the Nuggets with size. You got Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, McDaniels. That's a big front line. And they can rotate and take turns defending Jokic. If you have at least decent guard play, you can beat them. It's like, I feel like at the end of the day, it's you have to think like a GM, which is find guys that are good piece guys that can anchor a star.
yeah.
That to me is where you start to have teams that can really do some things. To me, Vickery, that's a good question. I don't know.
Orlando is like the talk of the town in regard to where Clay's going.
I feel like he floats around in the West Coast, in the Western Conference. I don't know what team. I mean, he'll probably get signed to a vet minimum, probably. I don't think that he's getting max dollars. So you got to think of teams that could sign him at a vet minimum. I'm going to say a team I don't think a lot of people talk about. I feel like Phoenix may throw their hat in the ring to get him. I think Phoenix
they have no draft capital, so it's just like they're going to have to do it all through free agency anyway, so.
I say, yeah, I mean, Magic is a good fit because of what the team needs, but I'm saying that for what Clay wants to do and where he wants to be competitive, I say he stays in the Western Conference, maybe goes to I think Minnesota stays packed. They're not going to make any moves. Denver's probably not going to go after him. They may try, but I don't think they're seriously going to do it. I think Phoenix probably is going to try to put their hat in the ring. I would, speaking of Big Show of OKC, I wouldn't be surprised if OKC brings him in. That's veteran leadership.
I would seriously hate that if he went to OKC.
I mean, but that's veteran leadership in the locker room. You got SGA, you got Chet, you got a really, really good core there. Gotta see how that plays out. I mean, but I don't know. Good thing. I've been saying I need to be on Benchwarmers and come hang out with you, Ben.
I agree with that.
This is now a time I need.
We're actually gonna move the show time, I think, to Thursday at 4:30. So like the same time we do recap and just but on a Thursday perspective. So I'm perfectly on board with that.
Vickery, CP3 needs to stay away from the Lakers like the plague. I don't want CP3 anywhere near.
Yeah, David Stern already kept him away from Lakers the first time. I mean, come on.
I think like I just feel like it makes sense, but he's not. Where do you put him?
Yeah.
Do you have him leading the second unit? And to me, at that point, your second unit needs shooting. Is he that lethal of a shooter or respectable of a shooter? I mean, looking at Golden State this year and how they performed, I don't see that. Is he a good floor general? Absolutely. But the Lakers need shooting and they need size.
That is true.
And he doesn't really move the needle in that direction to me. I mean,
I respect that.
I mean, but again, it's like I think that you go and try to find some 3-and-D guys. You try to find some guys. I mean, Gabe Vincent wasn't healthy this year. That's a shooting guard. That's shooting that you wanted to bring in. Vanderbilt has season-ending surgery. So it's like I really feel like the Lakers just need to go and get another talented big man. That should be their focus this offseason. Find another big man. And then if you can find somebody, like I said, throw your hat in the ring for Clay. Decent, good enough shooter that can anchor your second unit. I feel like that's really should be the Lakers' game plan of success, aside from finding a new head coach.
If the Kings don't hang on to Malik Monk, they're idiots.
I would, but again, if Malik Monk falls into free agency, Lakers, I'm reunion,
which I can totally see happening, and that would probably suck. All right, like Big Show. I gotta go back on the Carlisle thing because I didn't get to address that. So gotta remember with Carlisle, yeah, he did win a championship with the Mavericks in what was that, 2011?
Yeah, that was the 2011 finals. 2011. Yeah.
So This is his second stint with the Pacers.
Yeah.
Granted, he was an assistant coach under Larry Bird during like the late 90s years as well. And he was good in Detroit, but he never won a title in Detroit. Remember, he got fired by the Pistons. They brought Larry Brown in, and that's when they won the title. So that's what I'm saying. Carlisle is a great coach, but as far as a killer instinct coach, no.
Okay.
And that's what I feel like is the only thing lacking from the Pacers. And like I said, I love Rick Carlisle. I've met him a long time ago. I went through one of his basketball camps a long time ago. He knows what he's doing, but this stage of the game, it's just like he's not a I'm gonna knock you down and stomp on your neck kind of a coach. I
Yeah.
don't feel like he is. So
I mean, I feel like he's trying to, like I said, he's good for a team that you're
yeah,
trying to develop and you're trying to build. But
100%.
then but then it comes a point where it's like you got to put. This is where I say it doesn't always fall on the head coach. This is where having good assistants on the sideline as well helps.
Yeah.
You know what I
And I would
mean?
say honestly, Carlisle's assistants are pretty solid as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I don't know. We'll see how the rest of the series finishes out.
Yeah.
I might
I
change
feel
because I
like if
mean,
you,
I will
yeah.
say after game 6 and game 7 against the Knicks, like I started to change my viewpoint a bit on Carlisle just because the fact that it's just like, all right, there's
He-
the there's the motherfucker I want to see like just lead this team in a battle. And but then we have the incident of what happened at the end of yesterday, and it's just like,
Yeah, I mean, I
what
think
the
he
fuck?
knows how to pull the right levers. I think it's just again,
He doesn't know how to foul when you have a foul to give.
which is to me what made LeBron's comment so ironic when he tweeted that, because it's like, but I feel like that's a high IQ basketball moment. That's just knowing everything, and that's discipline, right? That's paying attention. And I
Yeah,
think you could blame the coaching staff for that, or you could, understand as a player out there on the floor, they know foul counts. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
Like they know that type of stuff as well. It's like, so you and that's why I think, like Big Show, like I said, if the Pacers don't make it out of this series, it is my feeling, and I agree with you, they're one piece away.
Yeah,
I don't think that the gap between them becoming a permanent fixture in the East, and you got to think the Pacers haven't been like that since PG, Danny Granger, you know,
Roy Hibbert.
Roy Hibbert. I mean, David West. I mean, George Hill. That group. I mean, and Frank Vogel was the coach at that time.
I know.
So you gotta think, like, it's been a while since they've been relevant. They're one good player away, and it doesn't even have to be a marquee name. It just has to be a person that is a system player, somebody that knows their role and can do it effectively. Is like, to me, like for them, like a Buddy Hield would be perfect.
Which
A
they
bu-
had, and they
which
traded him.
they traded him, which again, I get it. Sometimes when you trade guys, they play better other places, and then when they come back, they're a lot better.
It was
But
I mean, I would say it was always the intention to move on from him anyway, even though like he was actually pretty good with the team.
mhm.
But it was just nobody. I mean, and that's how the Pascal thing kind of facilitated. So, which actually is for the better that they got all that figured out.
Yeah, Tony says he's got Pacers and Mavs going to the finals.
I love it.
I think my only two is Ant, because he's just amazing TV to watch. And he's from Atlanta, so that for me is kind of like a little bit of a extra edge for me. But I want to see. It's either going to be, to me, Celtics to me, Timberwolves, or Mavs Celtics. But if we did get a Pacers Minnesota Timberwolves final, that to me would be interesting. I'd watch that.
I
I
would watch
know
the shit out of it.
I would watch that. I feel like that would be the first time in a long time marquee names per se. I mean, I guess you could say Anthony Edwards this year is making himself a marquee name,
Yeah.
but I think it'd be the first time in a while Steph, LeBron, KD are not headlining the finals, which I think would be interesting to see. Well, we'll see. Yes.
No, I still feel like I mean if the fluke happens where it's like it's Pacers Timberwolves in the NBA finals, for as much as people want to say I'm not watching that, that's boring. Nobody wants to watch small market teams. It's just like, dude, have you like one, have you watched either of these teams because they're exciting as fuck? And then
Yeah.
two, I feel like the exact opposite is going to happen because people are so pounded in their head that it's like it's got to be the Lakers, it's got to be Boston, it's got to be these top teams because they're the one that draw the most money. And then you get two small teams in there, and people are going to watch it just because it's like, oh my god, this is so much different and better.
Big Show, are you using the eye test for that comparison? I'm just curious. I'm not being funny. He's saying like hot take is that Luka is better at 23 than
At
LeBron
age
was.
23 specifically?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Are you saying at age 23 or just um I'm curious on that.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. He is the most one speed prolific scorer player I have ever seen in my life. He does not play for him and Jokic to me are the two players that do not increase their speed for anybody. Like
Yeah.
they're going to get to their spot but they're just high IQ basketball players. And I feel like that's what it is. Like they neutralize athleticism with just knowing floor placement.
Honestly, and it's just like it comes back to just this is what happens when you play European style basketball compared to US high paced style basketball. The Europeans can just slow it down at the drop of a hat and control and maintain. I mean, hence why Jokic won 3 MVPs compared to other dudes who have
Yeah.
amazing stats, but it's just like who controls the game? Those guys.
Yeah, I mean, Big Show, if you're saying that from that vantage point, yes, I will say that Luka's game looks more polished and refined because, like you said, he played Euroball, so that you're saying overall skill. Mm, okay, I mean,
I can lean toward that. I mean, just like I trying to think of the right way to say this. Like LeBron coming up as a high school phenom and then actually putting in a Hall of Fame career, like in some and while skipping college at the same time. I mean, not that it matters, but I mean, the rate of success for anybody to come from high school to be a Hall of Famer is so small. I mean, unless
yeah,
you're Moses Malone, Sean Kemp, technically, yeah, you went to a junior college for a short period of time, but whatever.
yeah,
Um, it's a very small window, and a lot of those guys fizzled out. And so the fact that LeBron is still playing,
yeah.
like he's an anomaly in that situation.
Yeah, and Big Show, I feel you, but it's like I think the only reason why I bristle at that comparison is that yes, I would say that at age 23, Luca definitely was more skilled than LeBron offensively. I would compare him to like a T Mac, like T Mac or shoot, I mean, yeah, like the names that just like Kobe, Kate, like you just named Kobe,
I've never heard of
KD,
those
T
guys. Who
Mac.
are they? Okay,
But
I'm
it's
curious.
like, what I will say is this: I think that what LeBron does on the defensive side of the floor at age 23, you also have to consider. So it's like when you say athleticism is the only thing he has over Luca, but I feel like athleticism can translate into him being a better defensive player. To me, Luca sometimes is a liability defensively, which again, not all players are going to be gifted two-way players. But
Yeah,
if we're talking 2008 LeBron, that was a different beast defensively and offensively. So I can't discount that. But I will give you ground on the sense of deeper bag. Luka had a deeper bag than LeBron at 23. Luka is doing step back, off kilter jump shots, floaters in the middle of the lane. Like it's clear, like you could see through his game, it's more polished. And I think LeBron leaned heavier into his athleticism at a younger age. But I think what you're seeing now from LeBron in his older years is like now you have just about the same athleticism as everybody else, but now you have IQ with scoring in that. I mean, you're having a guy that's at year 22, still dropping 20, damn near a double double
I know.
statistically, which at his age should not be happening. It shouldn't be. And it's like, yeah, and Big Show, exactly. It's like I've said it before. If you looked at Luca just walking around in street clothes, you wouldn't think he can hoop like that. You would not believe that. But shouts out to him, man. I mean, I think he's actually really showing why Kyrie was able to win the championship with LeBron in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Luka can play off ball and let Kyrie be ball dominant. Um, that's really the key ingredient if you want to win a championship with Kyrie. You have to allow him to be ball dominant, and you have to have a star that's a good enough scorer to be able to play off ball. And LeBron was good enough to do that. At the time when he was in Cleveland. And I agree. I think Kyrie doesn't get enough credit for that championship win. But I mean, when you talk about that run when they beat the Warriors, it's like only two players in NBA Finals history to drop 40 points apiece.
Yep.
That's LeBron and Kyrie. Triple-double in the finals for LeBron. Kyrie hits the shot that arguably ices the game after the block by LeBron. So it's like you gotta. That's one of those types of things where it depends on who you talk. If you talk to people that know ball, we understand that both need to be revered the same way. But for people that are just new and just glaze LeBron heavily, I feel like you got to do that. You got to look at that the right way, in my mind. But you got to talk to people that know ball. People that know ball will definitely tell you that. But man, yes, bench warmers invite Ben.
Let's do
it. We're doing it.
Let's do it. We need to do it. I'll leave you guys on a cliffhanger in a sense. I was never a big fan of T-Mac.
You know what? That's interesting.
No, I'm being kind of a dick about that. No,
I mean, but it's interesting because I think people like Kobe. Like, I think it's the same way that when we compare, like we always compare Kobe to Mike because but if you really looked at the stats from a scoring titles perspective, T-Mac was up there.
No, Kobe. I agree. But that's what I always go back to with T-Mac. It's just like T-Mac was a premier scorer.
Yeah.
But that's it.
He was a bucket getter.
He couldn't do anything else.
Yeah, I think that's, but I feel like to that end, that's why people say he's overhyped. But it's just like, certified bucket getter. I think do you win a championship with T-Mac as your number one scoring option? I mean, history has said no. But if you would have put a Magic T-Mac with another player that was your number one scoring option, that like a Luka Kyrie situation where they could still score and play off ball, I don't see why T-Mac doesn't have 2 championships by the time he retires.
I get that. I mean, injuries plagued him a lot, and so you get him the right pieces, the right time, and especially when him and Yao Ming were together, it's like it probably could have happened.
It could have, yeah.
My biggest thing that I always go through, and it's funny because KG, another high school phenom, when there were those years where it's just like, okay, well, who's the MVP? Is it KG or is it T-Mac? And for me, at the end of the day, I always go, it's KG because the man can score, the man can rebound, but the man can also play lockdown defense, and he's a massive shit talker and getting people's heads. And that's where, but it's like, but the inverse of the conversation that I always get back was, well, T-Mac's got the scoring title. I'm like, well, so what? That's one piece of gameplay right there.
But it's a sexy stat, right?
I know. And as I say, it always stuns me how much people just hate defense.
Yeah, I think it's one of those types of things where it's like when you see a player like an MJ, you see a guy that can, that can do it on both ends of the floor. It's like, and make it look easy. You kind of forget how many real two-way players that we really had in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and when I say for you to be considered a two-way player to me, you had to make an all-defensive team at some point in time in your career. You couldn't just been, I averaged 2 steals, or which is crazy if you do average 2 steals. That's a great stat line. But to me, it's like if you didn't make an all-defensive team, it's kind of tough for me to consider you a two-way player. And for me, it would be over 15 points a game consistently, and you made an all-defensive team. That to me is my definition of a two-way player.
Yeah.
Big show that don't count.
I mean, I was gonna say if T-Mac won a title in San Antonio, was he like an assistant coach or something like that?
No, it was the time. What was it?
It wasn't as a player.
It was. I think it was. But he didn't play.
I just now looked it up.
It wasn't. Oh wow! I thought he was like basically on the IR or something. I thought, but I guess he was, man.
No, because like, yeah, I was gonna say I'm looking at Basketball Reference right now. He never had an official year with San Antonio.
I do remember he suited up for them like for a couple of games, but I don't think it was ever, like you said, a full season.
But he never got into an actual,
man.
It's weird because they have his jersey posted here. It's like he never fucking played. I don't know. I'm very confused by that one.
But no, I mean, Ben, I'm thinking I think y'all are in good shape for game 2.
I gotta hope so. Here's the worst parts of it, and this is what I'll leave on. So the game starts at 5.
Yes.
My wife and I fly to Vegas at 7:30.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to be at the airport to watch this game. And as you all know, when I get stressed, and especially during sports, I like to smoke cigarettes, which you can't do in an airport, and it can't just walk outside because I'm gonna have to go back through security. It's like that's a whole hassle into itself. And then on top of that, because I'm gonna be so emotionally invested in the game, I can't have alcohol because the last thing I want to do is get kicked off of the flight before I even get on it and become so it's like it's just the worst possible scenario for game two. And that's
Ben,
why it's like if Indiana would have won game one, like in my eyes, game two, it's like, whatever. At
yeah,
least we got one on the road.
now you're vested. Now
Now I'm
they have
invested.
to
Yeah.
win.
All right.
I
This
feel
fucking
like
blows.
pray for Ben, chat. Just wherever you are, just pray that it's a good halftime. Because now planes actually stream the games, so you can actually watch it on the plane, right?
I feel like the game will either like it's 5 o'clock, so 7:30. I mean, it should be
Should it be
might be like
wrapping
the
up by the
fourth quarter
time?
by the time we get on the flight. So
Okay, so you'll at least by then you can while you're in the air, then you can,
oh yeah.
you
And it's like I'm just getting in my seat and I'm just getting on my leave me the fuck alone. Like I gotta
know.
finish watching this. Uh,
Exactly.
so big show. I'll answer the Blazer portion. So I've been a Pacers fan since 1987. The only reason why I got on with the Blazers is because when Reggie retired, oh, here's my light. When
Mhm.
Reggie retired, the Pacers were in a weird spot, and then I was living in Oregon, and it's just like, I'll go watch this team, and because it was a local team, and whatever. So that's how they
Mhm.
became my mistress.
Yep. Eric said he got you. But chat, and given Ben's sad news, I feel like we end the live on maybe some news that you guys have been waiting
Do it.
for a while.
Do it.
The hats are in.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, you heard that correctly. The hats are in. So pictures will be coming forth very, very soon. I'm extremely excited. Um, man, it's a long time coming, but I feel like I'm really, really super excited to see how these came out. And oh, congratulations, Cap Crusader. Super
Hey,
dope. So,
congratulations. You're still kind of a prick for all the shit you gave me because you thought the Knicks were going to beat the Pacers. So
but yes, chat, you guys have been asking. Some of you guys have been DMing me personally about it. But I got official word today. The hats are in. So
I'm so
stay
happy
tuned to
for you,
this.
man.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited. It's my first crown. I can't wait to see what it looks like. As far as in hand. But you guys have been asking, so I felt like it was only right on recap to let the people know that they're
Hell yeah.
in, and coming soon, coming very, very soon. So
Woo.
big hat, big show. So this is my first hat with Hat Club. So you go to my page, it's probably buried under all the posts I've been doing as of lately. But yeah, this is it's purple icy. So be ready, be excited, good to go. Yes, the hash.
God damn it, Steven.
I'm out. Yeah, yeah. Listen. We're gonna what like I said, I'm probably gonna jump on live after this and we could talk through it again. But super excited, man. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna be excited. But appreciate y'all for tapping in with us. Had some great
Absolutely.
crowns, showed off some awesome stuff. Like we said, Real Tree Two Tones dropping on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then we also have the
Cookie Martini pre-order
Cookie
on
Martini.
Friday, closes on
Mhm.
Tuesday.
Yes, sir. So get in where you fit in, get some crowns in. Great crowns to have. We appreciate y'all as always for hanging out with us. And if y'all missed the episode, run it back on Twitch.
Yeah.
And we will see y'all next week. We're out
Take
of
care,
here.
guys.
Later.